Okay, you're all set, Ernie.
All right, great, Joanna. Thank you and welcome everyone to the August 21st, 2024 meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission. We'll open this evening with the roll call. Mr. Chiocchio?
Here.
Ms. Hofstetter?
Here.
Mr. Sylvain?
Here.
Mr. Haas will be absent. We have no alternates to seat, and Chairman Finaldi is here. A quick thank you to Bob Chiocchio for chairing the last meeting. For the record, I did have an opportunity to watch the video. Very entertaining, including the 9-minute intermission, Bob. You're introducing an intermission now to our meetings. I didn't know we were going to do this.
I'll have to prepare some jokes or something for next time.
I should have stopped it and I didn't, but I was distracted.
I like it.
Sorry.
Everybody can go to the snack bar, get some popcorn.
Yeah.
But anyway, all good. Let the record show our next meeting is scheduled for September 4th, 2024. Before I move on, I want to be sure to briefly welcome our new planning director, Walid Al-Bakri. Walid, welcome to your first meeting of the Planning Commission. We're glad to have you here. Is he here?
He's on mute.
You're on mute.
You have to unmute.
Do that.
There you go.
Oh. You're back on mute.
You're back on mute.
There you go.
What about now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Mr. Chair. I look forward to working with all of you and getting to know each one of you better, hopefully in the future. Yeah, in the near future.
Great. Thank you very much. At the end of the meeting, I'll turn it over to Jennifer for a more formal introduction of Walid, but I did want to acknowledge that he was joining us this evening. So again, welcome, and we're glad you're here. Okay, we're going to move right to the agenda. There are no new public hearings this evening, so we will move right to item 1 under continuation of public hearing. Barnum Real Estate LLC application for special exception site plan approval for expansion of existing daycare center Cedar Gables in the RA40 zone, 15 Barnum Road, G06021, special exception number 801. Commission members, some additional information was distributed along with the revised agenda. Hopefully everybody had a chance to look at that information. And with that, I will ask, is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this application?
I can. Good evening. Steve Sullivan from CCA Engineers. So we received some engineering department review letter, I should say, and a planning staff review letter. And we responded and revised accordingly to those letters, submitted that last week. Really no major changes, just added some notes and some additional engineering details. And the fence that's along the side of the property, we increased from 4 feet to 6 feet. But other than that, there was really no major changes.
Steve, thank you. Commission members, I guess I missed one meeting and I lost my rhythm here. I did not do the Zoom introduction, so let me do that now, and let me also get the minutes accepted. I'm still jet lagged from a long flight for the record. Okay, first of all, the Zoom intro. This meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission is being held on Zoom as a virtual meeting. Even though this meeting is a virtual meeting, members of the public and interested parties continue to have an opportunity to participate in the meeting in a couple of different ways. You can participate via Zoom and see the audio and the video, or you can call in by phone and participate via audio only. Please be aware that we may have to mute your microphone or telephone to avoid an echo or some other background noise. Instructions on how to participate in the meeting appear on the City of Danbury website, and all of the documents and materials that apply to the matters to be discussed during this meeting, including the agenda, are also available on the City of Danbury website. As always, if you have any questions regarding how to participate in the meeting, please contact the City of Danbury Planning and Zoning Department. As a reminder, the entire meeting will be posted on and can be seen on the City of Danbury website. We will follow the posted agenda as per standard practice. If prior to the meeting, any questions or comments on agenda items were submitted via email to the Planning and Zoning Department, those comments will be read during the appropriate portion of the meeting. Finally, please remember that technology glitches sometimes do occur. Please be patient if that happens. Okay. Before we get back to Steve, I am going to go back to the agenda the way it should have been presented and ask if there are any questions or comments regarding the minutes of the meeting dated August 7th, 2024. And if not, I will entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
Mr.
Chairman,
Chairman. Nope. Go ahead.
So I'll make a motion to accept the August 7th, 2024 minutes.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes of the August 7th, 2024 meeting. Is there any discussion? For the record, I'll abstain from the vote because I did not attend the meeting. With that said, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? The minutes of the August 7th meeting are accepted. Now, Mr. Sullivan, we will go right back to public hearing and you can pick up on where you left off.
Yeah, as I stated earlier, we received staff comments from the engineering department and the planning department, and we revised the plans based on those comments and answered their questions with last week's submission. And again, there was no major changes. We just really added some more notes of clarification and some engineering details, and just increased that proposed fence height on the left-hand side of the property to 6 feet.
Okay, just to confirm that those were the open items from last public hearing?
Yes, we were just waiting for the staff, all the departments to review the proposed plan. And I believe all the staff comments are in, including the fire marshal, who had no issues with the proposal.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan.
Sure.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this application? Anyone else in favor? Is there anyone else in favor of this speaking in this application? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this application? Anyone in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this application? Okay. I know that we have EIC approval on this. I know that the applicant mentioned we have approval from the fire marshal. Ali or Jen, is there anything else we're waiting for?
No, all staff comments have been submitted and are in. And then there's 2 outstanding comments, which I believe will take a bit more time, in terms of P&Z staff report, which you can see on the agenda. And that has to do with the variances that were granted and with the septic plan and the well.
Okay.
But no big showstoppers, if you will, for the application.
Okay, so the staff is comfortable closing this public hearing, as you said. No, I guess we used to call them deal breakers. Now we call them showstoppers, but no issues that, in your opinion, are so serious to justify keeping the public hearing open at this time.
Correct.
Thank you. Commission members, is there anything else for the applicant or for staff on this matter? Any questions? We've heard a couple of different public hearings on this. Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing. I'm sorry, Helen?
I think Mr. Salvain just raised his hand, so I don't know
Oh,
whether
thank
it's
you.
for the
Sure,
motion or the
Motion to
question.
close the public hearing, sorry.
Well, everybody's, okay.
I'm gonna get my head back into this now. Okay, motion made to close the public hearing. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? The public hearing is closed.
Okay, thank you.
Jen, should we move this to item 2 under old business for discussion and possible action? Would that
Yes,
be
Mr.
appropriate?
Chairman. Yes, please. So you can give guidance to Ally.
Okay.
Thanks.
Commission members, if you agree, I'll entertain a motion to move this matter to item 2 under old business for discussion and possible action.
Mr. Chairman, so moved.
Motion made. Do I hear a second?
Second,
Second, Mr. Sylvain. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The matter of Barnum Real Estate will be item 2 under our old business agenda. Okay. Moving right along. Under old business for discussion and possible action, item 1, Midwestern Connecticut Council of Alcoholism, Inc. application for special exception revised site plan approval for expansion of existing dependency treatment centers, section 5B2B11, in the CA80 zone, 38 Old Ridgeberry Road, C16024, special exception number 799. The public hearing was closed at the last meeting, and a draft resolution has been submitted. Ally or Jen, did you want to go through the resolution?
Yes, this is one of the most straightforward we've had recently.
Good, we like them that way, Ally. We prefer them that way.
Exactly. So there's some outstanding staff reports. So condition number 6, 7, and 8 on page 4. You'll have P&Z's staff report, engineering, and the traffic engineer. Mostly all of I did a preliminary review of it before issuing another staff report, and mostly all of my comments have been addressed by the applicant. And then the traffic engineer, the applicant has agreed to install the ADA ramps for the crosswalk that the traffic engineer requested. So just conditioning that as well, because it's not shown on the plans yet. And then everything else is very standard. So if anyone has any questions, just let me know.
Questions, commission members on the resolution? Anything? Nice, straightforward one. We prefer them that way. Okay. Well, if there's no question or discussion, I'll entertain a motion to accept the draft resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve this petition with the conditions stated in the resolution of approval document of August 15th, 2024.
Thank you, Helen. Motion made to approve. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Kyocchio. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The draft resolution is approved. Thank you. So good luck to the applicant, and thank you, Ally. A very good report. Thank you. Okay. Referrals. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have an item 2 under old business for discussion and possible action. My apologies. Barnum Real Estate LLC, application for special exception site plan approval for expansion of existing daycare center, Cedar Gables, in the RA40 zone, 15 Barnum Road, G06021. The public hearing was closed this evening. Commission members, would anyone like to go on the record speaking or offering an opinion on this application?
Mr. Chairman, I'll do that. I think I would like to have this application approved. There are 2 outstanding items which will be part of the conditions of the resolution document, I'm assuming. So that's my thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you, Helen. Anyone else have any thoughts?
Mr. Chairman? Yeah, I agree with Helen. I have no issues with the application, so I would be in favor.
I would agree as well. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I had the opportunity to listen to the public hearing on video earlier today, and any concerns I had were addressed. I have no issues with approval. So, Ally, you have your guidance. All right, let's keep going. Referrals, number 1. I'm sorry, I'll read it, but it's been tabled. The A3A referral petition of JM Zell Partners LLC, Danbury P LLC, to amend section 732A1E and add section 737C3A4 of the zoning regulations, limit the prohibition on auto repair for a previously approved site located within the public water supply watershed district. Zoning Commission public hearing has been rescheduled for September 24th, 2024. This item will be tabled until the Planning Commission meeting on September 18th, 2024. Okay, with that said, we have a series of 824 referrals. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to be exact.
Yeah.
And the planning department staff has been submitted for each of these. And with that, Jen, will that be you or Ally presenting the referrals?
I'll be handling it tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, fire away. You got a whole bunch of them here.
Yes. For the record, Jennifer Eminger, Deputy Planning Director. So you have my staff report dated August 16th. So there's 2 batches of referrals. One came directly from the city council meeting, and then 2 referrals from corporation council. Actually 3. No, 2. I'm sorry, 2 from corporation council. So number 2, which is the bond issuance. This is an ordinance appropriating $3 million for public improvements in the 24-25 capital budget. This is related to bond funds that would for the renovation of the Ellsworth Avenue roof project. This certainly complies with the Plan of Conservation and Development, which acknowledges the need for continued assessment of our schools and the needs of the schools. Staff has no objection and to an issuance of a positive recommendation.
Questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for a positive referral.
Mr. Chairman, motion for a positive referral?
Motion made. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded for a positive referral. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next one, 824 referral, City Council, August agenda item number 3, bond issuance, public safety and infrastructure. Jennifer.
Mr. Chairman, so this next bond issue it's a $49 million request. This funds critical needs in public safety infrastructure. So it's twofold. The first part of it is for a new fire station on the city's west side, and it also includes upgrades to the police department for their closed circuit TV. And there's also an implementation of a citywide road reconstruction program. And this funds all engineering related costs for the road reconstruction program as well. Again, it's a more comprehensive look as opposed to just funding it every year. The bond will fund a package of roads every year. So, and just to clarify, so the $3 million bond earlier doesn't require a referendum. This requires, the $49 million bond requires a referendum. It's going through that process with City Council. I believe the public hearing was this past Thursday, and I think they're voting next week on it. And this allows them to get it on for the ballot in November. Projects would be utilized are fully set forth in the city's multi-year CIP, as well as the city's adopted budget for the fiscal year. This certainly complies with the POCD. Public Safety and Infrastructure 2024, which is the name of the bond, will provide funding for all of the things that we encourage in the POCD. So staff has no objection to a positive recommendation.
Thank you, Jennifer. Commission members, any questions for Jennifer? Bob.
Mr. Chairman, a couple of questions. And more of a process, I guess. So does the bond get issued all at once? Or does it go in tranches, if you will? Do you know how that works?
It's really a finance department question, but I believe it gets its own like category name, and then as soon as projects start getting funded through that, they just pull from the bond from that amount. So I guess it's submitted all at once, and then again, it's got a specific project name. So if you're paying for, you know, some of the road improvements, you're pulling from that specific bond. Like, you know, when we did the SNAP 2020 bond, there's specific line items in the CIP that it says SNAP 2020. So you're pulling from that bond.
Got it. Okay. And then all of these, I didn't get a chance to go back and look at this year's capital improvement plan. All of these are included in this year's capital improvement plan. I guess that maybe could be scheduled out for the next year or 2 or 3, I suppose.
If not more, correct.
Right. Okay. Okay. Just quite a large sum to do all at once, but okay.
It is. Any other questions for Jennifer on this one? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for a positive or negative referral.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion for a positive referral.
Thank you, Mr. Sylvain. Motion for a positive referral. Do I hear a second? Second, Helen, thank you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All in favor of a positive referral, please say aye.
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 Opposed? This matter gets a positive referral. We'll move right to the third 824 referral. City Council August agenda item number 6, sidewalk easement, 29 Park Avenue, H15135. Jennifer.
Mr. Chairman, the request came in from Attorney Ted Backer on behalf of Connecticut Community Facilities Development Corp. They constructed that nursery school on the corner of Park Avenue and I believe it's Dibble Street. It used to be the old, oh my gosh, used to be an old car dealership back in the day. They renovated it several years ago, and it's been fun. It's been operating to tie up some loose ends. They realized they needed an easement for the sidewalk. Only a very tiny portion was outside the right of way, and that was 21 square feet. But nonetheless, it requires that sidewalk easement. Staff has no objection. Again, all final plans and documents approved as to form and content by the Office of Corporation Counsel prior to acceptance by the city and recording on the Danbury land records.
Thank you, Jennifer. Questions or comments on this one?
Mr.
Hearing
Chairman,
none, okay.
I'll make a motion for a positive referral, subject to all appropriate plans and documentation being in order.
Thank you, Mr. Kyokyo. Motion made for a positive referral. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Helen. Any other questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This matter gets a positive referral. We'll move right to the fourth one, 824 referral, August City Council agenda item number 7, conveyance to city for roadway purposes, Modern Self-Storage LLC, 12 Great Pasture Road, L16010. Jennifer.
Yes, so this request came in from Attorney Julia Morris on behalf of Modern Self-Storage. I'm sure you all remember this application from a couple years ago on Great Pasture. They have commenced with construction, site construction. I believe COs are in the process of being issued. This is one of the last remaining items that was part of the resolution of approval. The conveyance for roadway purposes is approximately 870 square feet. Staff has no objection. Again, standard condition should be all final plans, documents as to form and content approved by Corporation Counsel and Department of Public Works.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any questions for Jen or discussion on this referral? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for a positive or negative referral.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a positive recommendation on this referral with the conditions stated within.
Thank you, Helen. Motion for a positive referral. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Sylvain. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? We're moving along, Jen. There's another one here, 824 referral. August City Council agenda item number 8, request for water main extension, Ridgewood Country Club, 119 Franklin Street extension, G13029. Jennifer.
Okay, we have a request from civil engineer Ben Dodo, who's the agent for the Ridgewood Country Club. This is for an extension of the municipal water main. The property is located in the RA 40 district. It's approximately 139 acres in size. The municipal water main currently exists in Franklin Street Extension The request extends the water main onto the subject property, constructs a new hydrant, and then connects the proposed main extension to their existing private 6-inch water service. Again, you can't have a private hydrant, so you have to extend the water main into the site. They're then abandoning, they have a private water line, a water service right now that will be abandoned as part of this whole construction. And that comes off the comes off the water main, the hydrant comes off of it at like a T, and they're separated. But to do that, you need the request for the water main extension. This is certainly within the proposed water service area that's identified in the POCD. Staff has no objection. Again, based off of, staff recommendation is, per standard DPW requirements for public water main extensions and constructions, all final plans signed off by Corporation Council and DPW prior to recording.
Thank you, Jennifer. Questions for Jennifer or Bob? Go ahead.
Yeah, just one quick question. So currently, do they have water service from the city, or
Yes.
they do? Okay, so
They
this is just connecting it, making a new connection to the city water service, I guess?
So to be able to the preference from the engineering department was to extend the water main onto the site, install the hydrant, and then off of that same water main, they'll then take the new service to the buildings and then abandon the existing water service. So you're taking it off of the main instead of taking it from the main in the road.
Oh, okay, got it.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Any other
Thank you.
questions for Jennifer, commission members? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for a positive or negative referral.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion for a positive referral.
Motion made for positive. Do I hear a second?
I'll have second that.
Motion made and seconded for a positive referral. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next one, 824 referral. Additional item number 1, Connecticut State DOT Triangle Street Project, Route 53 and Colpit Hill Road intersection. Property acquisition and easement. Jennifer.
Thank you. So this is one of the 2 referrals that came down from Corporation Council. And you'll see these on the September council agenda. So this is a request for the acquisition by DOT of a parcel of land at the intersection of South Triangle and Colpit Hill Road. It's actually a parcel, which is shocking. I don't think anybody knew that it was a parcel, but it does have an address and a tax assessor lot number. This is that triangular shaped parcel. If you're coming down South Street, you pass the old JK's. And you can either veer left onto Triangle Street or you're staying right to South Street. That little triangle that has the flagpole that separates the two. The state is looking to purchase that from the city as part of their DOT project to reconfigure that entire intersection. Also part of that includes a acquisition of a temporary construction easement and a permanent drainage easement. And this is down a little further. This is on the intersection of Triangle and Lee Mac, right over, right where the bridge is that crosses the Still River, adjacent to the Rizzo property. So again, the temporary construction easement goes away once construction's complete. And then the permanent drainage easement allows that drainage that's coming from the state to drain onto our property through the city's property. And that's 2,674 square feet. As I noted, time is of the essence. They're in acquisitions right now, right-of-way acquisitions. So the state's asked us to move quickly to commence this project. The engineering department has been working for several years, working closely with the state. Staff has no objection, subject to terms and conditions, if any, that are deemed appropriate by either City Council, Corporation Council, or DPW.
And that first piece you were talking about, that's the one in front of Jane Pools?
Yes, thank you. That would have been an easier way to describe that. Yes, the one directly in front of Jane Pool.
So they're after all these years, they're finally going to straighten that because that's a very tricky, as we
Yes,
all
it
know,
is.
interchange there. As we call it in planning and zoning, the geometry of the intersection is very tricky over there.
Correct.
So the state is going to acquire that piece, and I think it's just going to get rid of it and tee off that whole thing, or what are they?
Yeah,
do?
they're gonna tee off the intersection. There's some acquisitions that are gonna happen along Nijay Pool and a couple other properties to do that, to do those intersection improvements. But this has been underway since, I think, well before COVID. So
Okay.
it's good to see it finally moving forward. Because
Yeah.
as you said, it's a, you know, it's a very heavily congested intersection that has some
it
geographic,
gets-
geometric challenges.
Yeah, it gets all backed up. If you're going south, like you said, JK's, you're right, you're going south. And if you want to take a left over to go down Triangle, I think it is, you know, traffic kind of gets bunched up there, and then everybody goes around, and then you have to stay to the left to continue on South Street. It's just a very tricky intersection. I'm
Yes.
very happy to hear that they're going to straighten that out.
Yes.
Commission members, any other questions for Jennifer on this one? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for a positive or negative referral.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a positive referral, subject to the appropriate documentation and by council and DPW.
Thank you, Mr. Kyokyo. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? This matter gets a positive referral. And last but not least, another 824 referral, additional item number 2, purchase of Taylor Farm properties, inclusion of additional properties. Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So if you recall, you saw this referral back in May, and this is for the purchase of the Taylor Farm properties. And as you recall, we back in the early to mid 2000s, we purchased the development rights for the property, and then we were offered first refusal. It's the city's intention to purchase the Taylor Farm as a whole. And at the time, we thought that the tax assessor lot numbers were as presented, but based off of deed research, title search from the engineering department, a lot of sleuthing had to happen and going back into deeds from, you know, the early 1900s. But there's 3 lots that were not included that need to be now included in the purchase of, again, what's known as the Taylor Farm, which includes, as you know, numerous properties. So this referral just acknowledges 3 additional properties. I've identified those. They're vacant lots right now. If you know Stadley Rough Road, which I think most of you do, it's right at the bend as you're heading past Woodbury towards Great Plains School. It's right on the right-hand side. It's the wooded, there's 3 parcels there. They're all wooded. Those are the properties that are part of the Taylor Farm. So the purchase would include those 3 properties. We'd felt it was conservative to come back to the Planning Commission to amend the referral to include those 3 properties. So when it goes to City Council, it'll include all of the properties identified in the May referral and this referral.
Okay.
Staff has no objection. It furthers the land use environmental resource goals, strategies, and actions identified in the POCD.
Thank you, Jen. Any questions for Jennifer? Any discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion for a positive or a negative referral.
I'd like to make a motion for a positive referral as it furthers the plan for conservation and development.
Thank you, Mr. Sylvain. May I have a motion for a positive? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Helen. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? This one gets a positive referral as well. Okay, we got them all done, Jen.
Thank you. I don't think we've ever had that many referrals before.
I don't either. Thank God none of them were problematic, unlike some
No,
of the
they
other.
were all fairly straightforward. Thank goodness.
Expensive.
Yes, that too.
Okay, we have nothing under new business. We have nothing under correspondence. Under other matters, I'd like to turn it over to Jennifer for a more formal introduction of our new planning director. Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'm happy to introduce everyone to Waleed Al-Bakri. He is our new planning director. I think he's been here for about a month now. He comes from Tennessee with a very diverse background in planning and community development, and we are very pleased to have him as our new leader in the Department of Planning and Zoning. So without further ado, I'll introduce him to the Planning Commission.
Thanks, Jen. Waleed, would you like to say anything following that intro?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. I could see, luckily, it's actually an easier meeting. I have seen some meetings before that took a long time. So you never know. It's a good introduction. It's just a lean meeting tonight. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you and Jen too, and Ali and everybody. And I know that all what you look at is usually, I would talk application, which I would call active application. But by all means, I know that a lot of you have been in this field for a long time. So you might actually have very good ideas for us that you might actually say, hey, can I stop by? Would you like to discuss some idea I have in mind? We would love to see this happening more often, because I know everybody's very busy, and I understand, you have your other jobs. You don't even have to stop by. Just call us or send us an email saying, hey, you might want to look at this one. I have an idea. I have seen it somewhere else. Could we do it here? That would be something that we really welcome, because, these little, I would say tweaks and changes, they might seem to be small, but over time, incrementally, that can make a big difference.
Well, thank you for that. And that's something we should all keep in mind. I guess what Waleed is saying is, as a commission, we tend to be reactive. Stuff comes in and we react to it. But there's no shame in being a little proactive. If anyone sees anything in the regs or anything procedurally that we do, please go see Waleed and make the suggestion. That's good advice.
I'll give you an example, Mr. Chairman. I know you have been chairman for a long time, like before. Like, it's not your first time.
Some say too long.
No, I wouldn't say that. You know what? I cannot tell you how highly Jennifer speaks of you and all your support. So you actually, sometimes you have an application that, it happened this year. It had a similar one 2 years ago, maybe another 5 years ago. And you say, wait a minute. Is this something we should actually look at? And instead of all this happening and coming back, maybe we should look at it and say, well, maybe we need to tweak it. Maybe it's a little bit outdated. That's what I'm talking about.
No, absolutely. And we will be sure to do that. And I know I speak for the entire commission where I say, you have our unqualified cooperation on everything. Anything we can do to help you, anything, you please let us know. I just know I speak for everyone when I say that, so please.
And speaking of that, that we have a major project that was going on for a while, which is downtown zoning. So in the near future, you're going to hear back from us saying, well, we would like to talk and have some ideas to discuss. I don't know legally how it works, but I believe that if we all meet, it has to be advertised based on the legal requirements. That's fine too. It doesn't have, we can do it. I know you are busy. If it works out during the day, maybe we can have a workshop, something like that. But again, we will coordinate with each one of you because we know how busy you are, and all the commissioners too.
Thank you. And we look forward to that. Thank you. Okay. Again, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
We'll be talking a lot in the near future.
Yes, Mr. Chair, are there any questions from any of the commissioners? I would be happy to actually speak to them individually too. If you have any question now, by all means, please just let's discuss. If you don't have now, but you might actually have one later on, I will send you all my contact information as well, so you have it on file.
Great.
Mr. Chairman,
Please, Bob.
I do have a question. So I'd like to hear maybe your first impressions for the first 30 days on the job and how Danbury compares to your last position in Tennessee.
What a question. That's a very loaded one, you know?
You don't have to answer that.
Maybe you should have given me 60 days or so, you know? No, I can tell you, jokes aside, where I came from is Middle Tennessee, which is booming. So here's a similarity I see. Like, you know, it's boom time, not just in Middle Tennessee, like Austin area, like Middle Tennessee area, Carolina, North Carolina area are really booming because there's a lot of shift. People are moving over there because it's still more affordable. And also some people can get way more money for their homes and buy bigger homes and still have some savings. That's actually has not been the case before. It only took off on, I would say, in the last 6 years or so. I know it's busy here, a lot of things going on. The main difference is there's more land over there, so they tend to build outside with new subdivision. Yes, there are some here, but over the years in that part of the United States, there was no restrictions about building out. Now there are more restrictions. So the similarity is the boom, the difference is how they do it. Another thing that I can tell you for sure is different. Things happen quicker over there, like the timelines and the meeting and all the regulations. Yes, there are, but they are way less compared to what you have in New England, for example. That's a big difference. Another big difference, which I love here, there's a big emphasis in New England on affordable housing. That didn't catch on in, I would say, Tennessee area, except inside Nashville itself. So those are major differences I could see, and also similarities. So another thing that actually is, you can consider it, I don't know if you look at it as a bonus or as a minus, it depends on how you look at it. There's big emphasis here on saving the environment. I see it as a positive thing. Over there, yes, they care, but not to the same extent.
Interesting.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, very interesting. Now, is Shelbyville closer to Memphis or closer to Nashville?
Nashville is about 40 minutes.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Well, that's good. You're going to bring like a totally different perspective, which is always good. It's always good to bring new ideas in. So that's fantastic. Any other questions for Waleed at this point? I'm sure there will be more coming.
Yes.
That's it. Great. Well, thank you. Thanks again for it. There's a couple of matters under for reference only, commission members rather, to take a look at those for future meetings. And unless there is anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Can I
I'll make a
ask
motion to adjourn.
question?
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Well, hold on, let the commission adjourn and then you can.
Okay,
can
sorry.
ask
I
a
didn't know
question.
when I was able to ask or not ask a question, so apologies. First time for me.
No problem at all. Oh, I'm sorry, Jen, the meeting's adjourned. So
You adjourned, right.
Okay, so you're going to speak outside of the meeting then?
Yes. So I'm not sure so Doug, is this a question for the commission or is this a question
I think
for
it's
staff?
more for you, Jen. I just don't know what the next steps are and whether we can.
Why don't you
call
give
it-
me a call in the morning and I'll walk
Okay.
through that process with you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I just didn't know what we can do
Nope,
and what the next
no
things are.
problem.
So
Yep,
perfect.
just give me a call and I'll walk you through it.
Thank you, and thank you to the commission for hearing our request.
Good luck.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Good luck. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Looking forward to working with you, Waleed. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Good night.